Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 6 hours. They roll over at midnight now? Dude, I thought for sure we were due for another daily here. That's my mistake. I didn't realize they roll over at not even midnight. It's 8 p.m. basically, Vancouver time. They roll over at 2 a.m.? That's my mistake. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get that daily, you're just gonna get it a little later as a result of the fact that I thought it rolled over at 5 p.m., but clearly I have it confused with Slay the Spire. Not really trying to kill these guys with black powder, just trying to get, you know, a little bit of a feel for the rhythm of black powder. Okay, so ANFPWVQW. Speed is good. Speed is good. Did you, if you wanna, reading the Wikipedia article for Michael Douglas is infuriating. Now, I don't know, you know, is Michael Douglas a good guy? Is Michael Douglas a bad guy? Beats me, to be honest. What I do know is that he's an actor, and in the 1980s he played a character by the name of Gordon Gekko. Gordon Gekko had a very famous expression. Greed is good. At the end of the movie Wall Street, I'm not sure if you've seen it. I haven't, which is why this infuriates me. I still know this. At the end of the movie, the dude goes to jail. Or he's being investigated for fraud by the Securities and Exchange Commission. There's apparently, in like 2009, Michael Douglas went to the UN and gave a speech about, I don't know, you know, maybe he's an activist as well, and was grilled by the media on whether he felt responsible in some way for the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008 because of his saying greed is good. And the way the Wikipedia article reads is basically like Mike Douglas like talking to these reporters and just pleading with them and being like, it's a movie, please. Gordon Gekko is a character I played in a film called Wall Street. It was not a previous life where I was Gordon Gekko and I was trying to be a role model. It was a movie. Please let me go. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because of the whole speed is good. But anyway, speed is good. But we also have one of the only spacebar items that tricks us. It makes us think our speed is actually better than it is. Because this is definitely secret. Oh, it's not secret room, but how did that happen? Its hitbox turned on at the exact wrong moment. No, I will never stop kicking bombs. I'm not a coward. What do you have for me? If we drop White Pony, we will lose quite a lot of this speed. That being said, it's pretty unlikely anytime soon that I drop White Pony. Pretty high quality item for us right now. Sure, why not? Let's head down. We kind of copped out by taking HP there. We could have gone for something a little bit more aggressive, or even a utility item, but I'm happy we have the HP. Maybe we could have gotten HP later and gotten utility early, is all I'm trying to say. I don't feel bad for Michael Douglas, you know. First off, I don't take that as a negative statement to say that I don't feel bad for him. I sympathize with him in the moment, but for the most part, you know, if I say I feel bad for somebody, that implies they got something to feel bad for. You know, I think Michael Douglas has had a rich and proud life and is probably, you know, content with himself. I mean, he's Hank Pym, for God's sakes. All I'm going to say is that he's in a long line of actors who have had a character misinterpreted. Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden, certainly misinterpreted. Weird kind of young adult role model, despite the fact that he's basically a terrorist. And also just rude. Real life person, but then dramatized in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. A bizarre kind of idol for some people, or role model, despite the fact that, yeah, in that movie he does a lot of crimes and he goes to jail. He's just kind of like a con artist. Ambitious, charismatic, but a con artist. Now, I don't know. His crimes were mostly committed, to the best of my knowledge, before I was even alive. I'm not going to judge the man right now. All I'm saying is, you know, as depicted in the film, not somebody whose actions are to be glorified, in my personal opinion, at least. I don't know. I don't know why that happens. I even think, like, to some extent, like, the Joker. Like, I think the people, and, you know, don't get me wrong, dude, Heath Ledger's Joker. So, no! I thought my master plan could not fail. Heath Ledger's Joker is an incredible performance. And he's the villain. Everybody knows he's the villain. But some of the people, I think, out there who put the Joker poster on their wall and were practicing their why so serious impression in the mirror were like, yeah, he's like a bad dude, but he had some good ideas. Wonder what it is. I guess, first off, the other thing you need to know about all those characters, they're all from movies. They're pretty darn good. So first off, hats off to the filmmakers. You know, there's always room for a difference of opinion, I suppose, in whether these characters are... I mean, like, sure, there's stuff you got to admire, at the very least, Tyler Durden's ingenuity and education, or dedication is what I meant to say. You know, have you seen him with his shirt off? He's ripped. Jordan Belfort, you know, I guess you kind of just are of the opinion that the system's... Pardon me? That the system's rigged to begin with, and he just happened to be the best one at, you know, making it work for his advantage. The Joker? I don't know. That guy got into some trouble. Hurt a lot of people. Wouldn't recommend him as a role model. Hold up. We gotta... It's bizarre, but out of the jaws of, like, a pretty strong start, we're actually bizarrely close to death. And that's due to my own... I never should have tried to use... We should have just used White Pony not to collide with the Haunt, but just to hit him with the beams from above. That would have been totally fine. Instead, we tried to be cute with it, and it was... I mean, it was definitely inadvisable for certain. Either way, we do now have a bomb. The bomb allows us to get to, hopefully, a Spirit Heart. Small Rock would also be fine. And then, hopefully, build towards a deal with the devil on the next floor. And surely, like, the odds of this being the hardest run I've done today, this is like run 5 or 6 today. The odds of this being the hardest run I've done today are very low, I hope. I'm willing to take a chance on this giving us enough money to get to Sackboy, which it did not. And a chance was all I was willing to stake on that. I beg you, a Spirit Heart. I may not deserve it, but I desire it. Ooh, 2 keys. I swear that clandestinely, they changed the drop rates for Tinted Rocks sometime, like, 2 years ago. And it went from being, like, a guaranteed, or, like, it was like an 88% chance you were getting, Spirit Hearts. And then, like, a 1 in 16 chance you got Small Rock, and a 1 in 16 chance you got, like, a golden chest. Now it's, like, the amount of times you get consumables, it's not even bad, because sometimes you get, like, hey, a Spirit Heart and some consumables. But the amount of time you get just consumables seems way higher. Anyway. Our stats, and we're lucky for this, but our stats are still very good. Were it not for our, very optimistic... DPS, and speed for that matter, and a really, really good spacebar item, honestly, that is underrated and I think catches flack it doesn't necessarily deserve. That's right, I've seen you on the message boards. What am I thinking? Literally was just about to do the exact same thing. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we just crashed into these items, or these bombs? Sorry, it's been a long day of recording. Why not? Let's get funky with it. So what this means, by the way, is that White Pony is now an all-stats upgrade. And a rising tide raises all boats, is the idea. So any statistical upgrade we get at this point is worth the cost of admission. I actually like Libra. I think Libra gets... and again, I see on the message boards, let's make fun of Libra, it'll be fun. And then Libra comes home crying to me and goes, I don't understand why the people on the internet are so mean. And I say, don't read the comments so much, and just remember, they like you. They just think it's kind of a meme to make fun of you. You get the idea. It's the story of my life, I take her home. We, I think Libra gets unfairly lumped in with soy milk as a meme item. It's very good with soy milk, but I think it's fine by itself. You know, shot speed upgrades, range upgrades, even speed upgrades to some extent. Upgrades that are, if we're being honest, not created equal, usually worth very, very little in contrast to Tears upgrades, HP, and damage. It makes them all worth the same. So you basically are rolling the dice. What are you betting on? More DPS upgrades in the future? Or, you know, keep in mind there's other outs. Money equals power is a huge item. You know, soy milk's a huge item, etc., etc. So are you betting on more DPS upgrades, or are you betting on more non-DPS upgrades? And really, you know, the truth will come out one way or the other, and it's just a prediction. You know, it is what it is. Shouldn't have done that. I don't know why. It's like every room that seems worthy of using the white pony effect also has enemies that do like explosion damage or contact damage, or they well, definitely don't want to take that then. They make it complicated. Let's put it that way. All right. Whoa. We have 7 bombs. Peep is like, please don't at me for my right opinion. Peep is like the perfect 3rd floor boss. Right up there in terms of difficulty. Not so easy as to be a walk in the park. Always got to stay focused. And he's going to get you. You already know this. You know, the eyeballs make things tough. If this fight were on a big room, it would be the easiest fight you could ever imagine, but it's not on a big room. Thanks to our ability to fly, it actually was even a little bit easier, thankfully, but still, that's a problem. So, torn photo. Everything but tears right off the bat. But still. We would have preferred if that were not Libra'd, but that's, again, the cost of doing business. That's the way the cookie crumbles and other such vague platitudes. For now, we're happy we got speed, and beyond that, speed is good. I'm not sure if you remember that. All I'm saying is, Michael, I hope that you didn't lose too much faith in humanity there at the United Nations. I would expect better from the United Nations, but I will be fair to them. I wasn't there. Who knows? If I were, I would have straightened them out. I would have said, hey, relax. This old man did nothing wrong. This ancient fossil of Hollywood... Because the joke is not that Michael Douglas was that old. It's rather that, you know, at the time I was 20-ish. So I would have been like, man, this guy is real old. What is he, like 50? My parents watched movies with him in them. Good stats. Okay. Whatever. I think we're pretty pleased. I mean, we got to deal with the devil. No, we didn't. We got deal with the devil. We got room access, which means we could get deals with the angel, which is fine. But you can't, I think at least, you can't blame the creator of satire if people don't get the satire. The only exception is if the satire, we already found the second secret room, is if the satire is created in bad faith. Like if you go up to somebody and go, you're fat. And then they go, wow, that's really offensive. And then you go, it's a satire, don't you get it? You're just kind of a jerk. But, you know, if you make Fight Club, and then a bunch of people out there are like, dude, let's start a Fight Club. I think you just gotta be like, well. Oh, well. It's kind of the cost of doing business, I suppose. Please give me an all-stats upgrade via a blood bag. This run is very well balanced right now. It's certainly not an easy win, as I see it. It shouldn't be too difficult. You know, it exists in that middle ground, which is really nice. Anyway. I hope this isn't coming as a shock. It's probably not. It just gets me something. I think it's gotten better as I've gotten older and as my... You know, as people my age have gotten older as well. But even when I saw Fight Club, I was like, yo, dude, Fight Club's pretty cool. Like, I don't want to start a Fight Club, but it's kind of, like, seductive for a young man. You're like, yeah, you're right. You know, we didn't have a war to define ourselves, and that sucks. Now that I'm older, I'm like, yo, we didn't have a war to define ourselves, and that owns. It's like your teacher forgot to take up the homework from the last class. You know, she forgot that she assigned it. And everyone's, you know, you can see little Mouth over in the corner ready to put his hand up. Miss Jenkins, are you forgetting something? And then you just give him a swirly until he becomes your best friend many, many years later, despite your best efforts. Anyway, so obviously that story didn't happen. If anything, he beat me up. And I just left that awkward silence there to make it seem way more menacing than it was. Anyway, 9 lives. Take. Still good. But then, and so when, like, when people my, you know, Fight Club came out when I was like 11, but as I saw it when I was like 15, I was like, dude, this movie teaches you like what it's like to be a man. When I got older, I was like, nah, not really. It's more like, you know, here's the thing. Edward Norton, you know, he was stuck in kind of a dead-end life. He was a slave to his boss, sure. He had a, in the end, it's kind of a weirdly optimistic view of depression. If that's, and I'm treading on dangerous territory here, but the dystopian vision of 1999 actually doesn't look so bad in 2018. You're like, whoa. Edward Norton has a stable office job in his late 20s, an apartment full of IKEA furniture that he already owns. He's not even making payments on that. Thank God for 9 lives is all I'm gonna say. This room is garbage. And then, you know, Tyler Durden comes up to him and goes, hey, are you sad sometimes? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, let's, you know, destabilize the entire world's economy. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. An appropriate reaction to my occasional feeling of existential quandary. But anyway, I was of the age, so I think it's fine. Why, I forgive myself is what I'll say. But when people my age were like, yo, dude, did you see The Wolf of Wall Street, man? And then I was like, yeah. And they're like, I got $800 on the market right now as a result of that movie. I was like, whoa. When you saw, like, you know, I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's dangerous territory. I was like, well, when you saw Inglourious Basterds, did you want to be Hans Landa? I don't get it. They go through a lot of work to make Jordan Belfort seem like kind of a jerk in that movie. But I guess maybe we were watching different things. Regardless. Anyway, I'm spitballing right now. Speed up. Pardon me, we didn't get any bonuses for that, so I'm realizing now, part of the, isn't it like your speed gets capped at 1.5 when you're holding this thing? So we might actually be at the point now where if we dropped White Pony, we would get an all stats upgrade. Is that correct? And if we don't drop White Pony, we'll never be able to upgrade any of our stats ever again? Well, any of our stats tied to Libra. We could still upgrade Luck, for example. Don't do it. Please. There we go. Not likely to get a deal. Very thankful to get a deal. You know, I mean, why not? So I gotta go back and check something. I would prefer not to, but, you know, again, I screwed up the equilibrium of this run when I when I took incredibly dumb damage on the Hush. Or on the Haunt, I should say. It just is what it is. I wish it weren't like that, but so be it. Anyway, I got movies on the brain because that Avengers trailer just came out. And I know. No, it's still an all stats downgrade, but we might want to work on that. I don't know how to do it, though. I know. Well, they're gonna, if they've ever made a bold decision, they're gonna subvert it in this new movie. Yeah, I know. It's a franchise. I'm just, you know. I know it's rich coming for me, but, like, you know, I like them. There's never been, like, a moment where I, like something, and then someone on the internet was like, here's a snappy name that people who don't like it use to describe it. And I go, you're right. That's funny. All of a sudden, I'm on your side. Instead, please link me to an 18-part video essay. It's the way they do it in this day and age. You get your YouTube channel started with a video essay. Is the real villain of The Incredibles 2 Mr. Incredible? And then a bunch of question marks on the thumbnail. I'm familiar. I understand how the game's played. Depths 1. We're at a weird, impasse is not really the right word, because the run is okay, but I do feel statistically limited. Black Powder is doing some great work, and I'll let you know, I meant to take the Emperor card. My mistake. Still, the Devil card is an all stats up for the room that we use it on. So it's not like I'm feeling too put out by it. It's just Emperor would allow us to like skip theoretically all of the Womb 1, which normally is like a quality of life thing, but for now is actually like maybe would help us out. So a Tears upgrade, 0.4 damage up. Very, very nice. At this point, I would like a way to improve our speed faster as well. It's only going up in like real small increments, but no tinted rocks that I can see. This is a very worthy room for that. You know what? 9 lives. You gotta let it ride. We should be fine. We beat the odds. I don't even remember if I mentioned it. We had like an 11.5% chance to get a deal with the devil on the last floor, and it paid out. It's like a 1 in 8. Actually, it's much closer to a 1 in 9. Chemical peel's okay. No stat effects on screen or on the HUD, but like maybe it will only affect our damage, but still, maybe that's what we need right now. Is something that only affects damage instead of like, you know, shot speed. We'll definitely take chaos, just to add some funkiness into this run. Like, I'm being real with you. We should not lose. But we probably bet wrong on Libra, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I think we ended up, as of right now, getting way, way, way more, really smart play there, way, way, way more DPS improvements. Wow, I got hit versus Monstro too. Then we did other improvements. So still not throwing this run away, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I will take 7 seals, and now I'm like, sometimes you just find yourself in a bit of a tizzy on a run, and that's kind of where I am right now. I'm like, I'm throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. I'd really like to get 1 penny. I worry, I mean, 7 seals is a really good item. Okay, great stuff. Now we do have a very, well, we've got a line on the Tears upgrade. I don't know how that's actually going to help because of the Libra, but we're going to see. So it was actually a marked improvement in just about every category. So we're building. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. We are pretty quickly coming to an impasse when it comes to HP, though. Right, Tomo? How are we going to handle this, buddy? Are we going to bank on just getting a strong enough run that with a little bit of luck and elbow grease and spacebar item play, we can, you know, kill any room with 1 life? Or with 8 lives, maybe? Or are we going to have a chance to stack up some HP? Because we can't even really play the blood bank leading up to it. So this, presumably... I'm not mad. I'm just a little disappointed. When you stand still and the ghost just lands on top of you, you just gotta be like, well, I guess I guess this room is not my room. So we're looking for, beautiful. Didn't mean to waste the key, but we were looking for statistic pills, attribute ups, really, to phrase it in a way that's not nearly as weird. You gotta be careful. Watch out for the flies, okay? You already know this guy summons explosive flies. I don't want to be around when those pop off. At least not yet. Certainly we don't want to do this room yet. This is kind of, like, in all likelihood, if you're in a sticky situation, and I would say this situation is sticky, on a, like, I mean, what's, like, the least sticky thing on the planet? I don't know. What's the smoothest thing on the planet? It's like brushed chrome or something like that. On a scale from brushed chrome to Scotch tape at a 5 to movie theater floor right after Ralph Rex the Internet has aired. Because kids are always spilling their soda, is what that's the implication. Sorry, kids. BTFO. That stands for bin the freaking orange soda, okay? It's a Britishism, you wouldn't understand. This is like a Scotch tape right now. It's a 5 out of 10 stickiness. You know, it could hold 2 pieces of paper together if you don't have access to a stapler. That's the play. We still have to stick with White Pony. White Pony's not the problem with this run. Plus, the money is not bad. In fact, it's immediately useful. You know what? I'm gonna take Transcendence. Transcendence is very simple. It's just insurance, and we'll absolutely take Raw Liver, an item that's hard to get to begin with. Transcendence is insurance. Now we can give up the White Pony without being, like, in a devastating situation. Now, this is where things are gonna get a little debatable. Okay, I do stand by it. And we're still learning, by the way, that IV bag is not the right way to go. I was hoping to get a bomb because there is a tinted rock back here, but you know, we're gonna go for it. In fact, let's do these rooms real quick. You could probably persuade me to take Shoop the Whoop. Then again, it would have to show up, which is, as we've learned myriad times in the past, not possible. Interesting. Well, I was trying to ignore the fact there were a bunch of red hearts back here that I could draw from, and you made it impossible. So obviously we're gonna shoot for the moon here, especially because I already kind of ruined the deal with the devil by, well, I got hit by a telefragging ghost. Okay. I'm not gonna apologize too much for that. Somewhat out of my hands. There's like a movie quote in my head right now that I can't come up with. It's like, I got hit with the telefragging ghost, and it wasn't even her turn, baby. And I don't even know if it's Austin Powers, but in my head it's like, it's so ingrained in my head right now. Oh, you know what it is? From Dumb and Dumber. Thanks, brain. I got robbed by a little old lady on a motorized cart, and I didn't even see it coming. Not a good line delivery. My mistake. Sorry, Farrelly Brothers. Take 2. But still, I could feel it. I could feel the quote in my head. I was like, where is that indexed? 90s movies, comedies starring Canadian ex-stand-up comedians, formerly on sketch comedy shows. It took us close, but not quite there. Obviously, we'll take the Polaroid because this run is touchy. Just a little touchy. Right, Tomo? No, he's asleep now. Okay, now we rush. For necessity's sake. Has Libra been good or bad for us? Honestly, I think in the end, it's probably been good. And it's hard for me to admit that because I was bad-mouthing it just a little bit earlier. Or saying that it was an inefficient play for us. In the end, it is not random chance, but there's variance involved when it comes to determining whether it was the right play or the wrong play. So it's not like an admonishment of my own level of skill one way or the other. But I think now it's probably reached the point where it's been worth it. Now that I realize our stats are not capped, they're just going up slowly, the more all stats upgrades we get, the closer we get to feeling like this was the right call, I think. But I could be wrong. Maybe we would have, like, actually, you know what we'd have is unbelievable speed right now. 1.60 is good, but, you know, with flying black powder, we could probably be persuaded to be like, you know, 2 is fine. Sometimes it's not. This is not one of those cases. Oh, I hate you. So we'll pop the matriarch for certain. The good news is, if we get hit twice... I'm not messing with you. I would rather fight, Mom's Heart here than fight the matriarch. And it's not even close. Please. Dude, this is the best 7 seals has ever been for us. It has done incredible work. And that's maybe the best fight I've ever had against the matriarch without just, you know, dominating them. So, that was huge. Now, with all that being said, you know, we had a lot of fun on that floor, but if we're being serious, we didn't really improve much. I would love to be proven wrong, but I don't think we will be. I will look for Magic Mush. So I'm not worried about the money from this greed statue, but if we blow up the greed statue, whoops, might give us a better deal with the devil chance. Yeah, plus 2.5%. There's only one rule. If we get that deal with the devil chance, we go, oh my god, it worked. So we're going this way. That's exactly why we're going this way, by the way. Polycephalus is an easy fight. I just can't remember. There's only one of you. Even better. That's what I was going to ask. There are 2 of you or 1 of you. So, huge place. Thank God for that. We don't need to use black powder here. We got a lot of bombs. We'll throw those in. I do think black powder works against Mom's Heart. Well, very easy fight, but I think that's deceptive. Didn't get the deal. It didn't work. What the heck? I raised my odds and everything, game. Broken. Is there a bug? Probably up and to the right, but there's a pretty good chance that it's down and to the left as well. Okay, well, we'll do the whole room then. Worked out pretty nicely. At some point, we have to acknowledge maybe it's not just luck that's taken us here, because we've been doing really well on the last few floors. I don't even think you check it. I think you grab this if it's Spirit Hearts, and it is, then you get the heck out of town. What do we care, right? Could also be, you know what? It's almost certainly down and left. Or sorry, down and right, I mean to say. And if this is a secret room, I was so excited. It would have been so nice. You know, I'm willing to try. Free Spirit Heart. I don't know how useful I'd really consider Bomb Bag to be, but there it is. As you can see, the quality of this run pretty much 100% hinges on having white ponies active ready. I can't believe, and I hope that maybe this isn't the case, and maybe this run was just sort of cursed no matter what you did. You could play the seed yourself. But if we hadn't made that boneheaded decision to attack the haunt the way we did, I wonder what this run could have been, you know? Was it struggling like this, or was it stronger? Does Libra play more of a role as a result? You know, it's this inevitable kind of Gwyneth Paltrow sliding doors sort of setup where we're like, dude, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, there's no maybe we'll never know. Like, we almost certainly will never know. Unless you tweet me that you played the seed and you go, I got the deal with the devil and here's what happened. In which case, more power to you. I'd love to know. That's the thrill of Isaac, you know, and to some extent is realizing how things would have changed depending on the way you played it. We're getting the heck out of here, by the way. And you are not too bad. But I do think you're worth doing that. I know this seems crazy, but there's a battery charge back here, so for a bomb, we get another use of White Pony. And I almost want to use it immediately, but I'm going to resist. It's just one of the, you can fall into this trap in Isaac where you're like, oh. You know, it's like looking at the answers in the back of your math textbook. You know you shouldn't do it. You know you're not going to learn by doing it. And once you do it once, you're like, oh, I'm going to want to do it for every question. Because it's like, you know, you get the juice and the squeeze mixed up. It's about the squeeze, you think it's about the juice. The point of the, you know, doing your math homework is not to get the right answers. The point of doing your math homework is to know how to get the right answers. And you will have a calculator in real life. What you will not have access to is the back of the quote-unquote universal book that will allow you to see the answers. Unless you work in a field where the answers are well known, and then the hard part is coming up with the questions. I don't know what it means, but it sounds really erudite, so I'm going to leave it out there. Oh, it's actually pretty bad. Just because, like, I don't know what this run's going to be like. You know, we've made it to the chest, but we've been at relatively low HP, relatively low damage for the entire run so far. So, like, I'm hopeful. Yeah, it's very nice. Well, it's pretty nice. Okay, this should be very nice. Yeah, plus 1.34 damage. It's pretty good. Rate of fire. It must be at the cap or close to it. Balls of Steel's good. Tears Up has not been doing anything for us, but I'm kind of banking on the idea that maybe it's just being stored until it crosses like a buffer level, and then it's going to do something. But I'm thinking, you know, we've taken like 3 Tears upgrades and an all stats up without it being affected, so that's probably not the case. Whoa. Probably the greatest accidental dodge in recent memory. In between the little the corn shots there. Children of the corn. Children of the corn. Stephen King novel turned into a movie. Children of the corn. I've never seen it, so I'm doing what I can. I've also possibly never heard the entire song, Riders on the Storm, by The Doors. I'm just aware of its existence in the public classic rock oeuvre of songs you're supposed to know. You know, Children of the Corn, it's an okay parody, but I still prefer Heroes of the Storm. And you just change it every time, you know. Nova, Kerrigan, Gul'dan, Asmodan, Heroes of the Storm. You can really, like, fit any rhyme there, is the thing. You could be like, you know, hinges on the door. Swing left, swing right, open and close. Hinges on the... Like, it's not... It doesn't take talent. It's just a formula, is what I'm getting at there. In case you were one of the one people who was going to tweet me and be like, I found that anecdote hilarious. Guess what? You shouldn't. I've tricked you into thinking I'm funny. I didn't earn it with some kind of well-placed pun. This word kind of sounds like this word. Can you imagine a situation where you would get them confused? And isn't that weird? We are going... That was Hans Landa, sorry. My teenage year's coming out. We're gonna win. And I don't know, man. Like, I feel bad now because I played it up like there was a good chance at losing. I still think there was, but there's not anymore. There's not anymore. I mean, there just isn't. I don't need to sing a song to make it true. That being said, I'm focusing intently. Oh, Homer Simpson smiling politely. All right. Not a good run, but a run in which we surmounted. We had a little bit of spice in there thanks to Libra. Either way, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps it a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. And how many wins are we at now? 17 wins in a row. Feeling good. And I'll see you next time.